Hello. It's time to have your mind blown. But before we can do that, I must blow the horn of epiphanies to summon the universe's wisdom. Behold its grace and beauty. Let us begin. Have you ever pondered the meaning of gravitas? Did you come here to get more smarter? Well, I can help you with neither of those things. Time for some mind-blown epiphanies. I hope you're ready. If you're able to do a handstand, you're actually holding the entire earth in your whole hands. It's pretty cool. Mind blown. If you rip a fishing net, it will now have fewer holes than before you ripped it. That one's kind of a thinker. It's got all the holes. When you rip it, it makes fewer holes. So, if a pregnant woman goes swimming, she actually becomes a human submarine. No one knows whether the S or the C is silent in the word sent. If you expect the unexpected, then that means the unexpected has now become expected. It makes sense if you don't think about it. I'm not actually thinking, I just have a crook in my neck. I can't move it. If gym equipment were invisible, it would look like everyone was having a silent rave. Most people that go to the gym kind of look like people from Jersey Shore anyways, but that's besides the point. Wait, you hear that? I hear a ringing noise. My doctor told me last week that I was concussed, which means that I can hear through walls or something. I read between the lines when he was talking. Once you've read the dictionary, every other book just becomes a remix. Dora the Explorer calls herself an explorer, but she seems to only travel through areas that have already been mapped. Kind of a liar. What's Spanish for the word liar? That's what she is. A palindrome is a word that is spelt one way and can be spelt the same way backwards, such as the word race car spells race car backwards, or taco cat. But did you know there's palindrome sentences, such as, Eva, can I stab bats in a cave? In which case, if your name is Eva, you tell your friend, no, you serial killer, you're going to jail. Or my favorite palindrome sentence is this, go hang a salami, I'm a lasagna hog. This has been mind-blowing epiphanies. De nada. And now, as always, you are now more smarter.
Hey there, welcome to Weekend Live, a segment of your weekend nights where we try to be groovy and fun. My name is Bryant. I am your captain of this ship or of this snowboard tonight. Hope you enjoy the ride, and we will begin shortly. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Gotta get one of these from my room. What? We're live? Okay. Hey there. Okay, so no one's going crazy at this house. We're going to start with some segments we call announcements. All right. Get in your recliner or your comfortable chair or room and listen to these. So, first up this week is Listen Up Podcast. You see what I did there? Yeah. Listen Up Podcast. That's going to be our youth ministry podcast. The first episode debuts Wednesday morning. It goes on live at 7 a.m. at all your podcast listening platforms. Spotify, Google, Apple, Stitcher, and we will also put it on Facebook and YouTube where, M1 Student Ministries. That's where it'll be. Thanks for tuning in with us. Again, that's our first announcement. The second thing, both of these things are new things, is we're starting Driveway visits. Yes, driveway visits. We're calling them driveway talks, or you can call it driveway visits. Doesn't matter to me, man. Keep the peace. So what we're going to do is just have a Google form that you can sign up at, and we can see what time and day you want me to come to your driveway. So, fill out that form. Let us know of a time that you'd like that to happen, and we'll make it work, my friends. We will make it work. We'll just have some chit chat. It'll be good to see each other's faces. Again, it's a new idea. We'll be coming up with a lot of new ideas in this quarantine every single week to keep it fresh and keep it cool. So that'll be happening. Every week, you're going to be hearing either on the church social media or ours devotions from students. And you'll be hearing a lot, to at least 2 or 3 more from our seniors that are graduating. For those that have been wondering, because you have been wondering and you have been asking, Senior Sunday has been postponed until a later day when we can meet in person. If that does not happen and we cannot meet in person, we will celebrate our seniors virtually, and we will go the extra mile to make sure it's not just through the screen, but we have some way to connect with them, and it will be great and it will be groovy. Keep the peace. And yeah, so that's our 2 announcements. Hey, friends, coming up soon is going to be Grayson Gillum. He's going to be sharing a worship song that he has placed on our hearts. It's called Who You Say I Am by Hillsong. Go ahead and get that ready for you. Get the lyrics up on your phone or your screen, whatever you got to do to pull those up, and we'll make sure that when that time comes that we'll give our hearts and our songs to God. And then after that will be Mr. Mark Oestreicher. Mark Oestreicher is also known by his close friends or anyone that pays attention on social media as Mark O. Marco is from California. He was asked to give a message for us tonight a few weeks ago, and he happily accepted. Marco is a speaker across the country at different youth ministry events, and has even been a speaker at our own beloved Lake Junaluska. And so, yeah, so Marco is going to give the message tonight. Make sure you're tuned in this whole time, and can't wait to hear his. I got to hear it a couple days ago, and man, it's funny and it's deliberate, and I think it speaks to what we're in right now. It hits the mark, as so people say. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the laughs. Oh, you like that one, did you? Well, tell you what, there's more coming. Hey, friends, we're gonna see a video here of a guy doing magic. So hey, check that out, and then we'll continue with more Weekend Live.
Hey man, how you doing, Keenan?
Good, and yourself?
Good, good. Hey, let me show you a little trick with this deck of cards, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to shuffle these, and then I am not going to touch them. You're going to be doing this whole entire trick. Here you go. Go ahead and take it. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a number between, let's say, 5 and 30, whatever you'd like, any number you want. And then I want you just to, I'll close my eyes and plug my ears so I don't hear the number, hear what you counted to. Deal them down just one at a time, and then go ahead until you get to that number. Go. La, 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 la. Okay, I don't know where you're at, so that's good. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
First chance. You're going to be driving home tonight, and you're going to think, what if I put some on? What if I took some off? Would that change the outcome of this trick? This is your first chance. You can take some of those off. You can put some of those on. Whatever you want to do, choose now. Awesome. You're going to be brushing your teeth tonight. And you're going to think, what if I put some off? What if I took some on? What would happen if I did that? Would it change the outcome of this trick? Second chance. Choose now. Any more? You can take some.
That's it.
You're going to wake up in a cold sweat. You're going to think, what if I took some off? What if I put some on? You can do it in chunks. You can do it whatever you want. Last option. Choose now. 5. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, very good. I'll take that deck back. Go ahead and pick that up for me. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to deal 4 piles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Until you're all out of cards, just deal them all out just like that until you run out. Perfect. And you, through all of that, you have dealt the piles. You put down random cards, as many as you wanted.
I did.
Through all of that, check it out. The cards that you stopped on, the 4 aces. What if you added some? What if you took some off?
Man,
Sweet. Thanks, dude.
thank you.
Hey guys, this is the instructional video for the 4-ace trick. Thanks for checking it out. This is actually a really, really simple trick. So you guys just saw me do it for my friend Keenan. It's set up with a preset deck, and all you have to do for it, super simple. You have the 4 aces on top of the deck to start off, just like that. I went to shuffle it, and when I shuffled the deck, I just did a simple riffle shuffle, and as I did it, I kept the 4 aces on top. That's exaggerated for you guys. Don't do it that big when you actually do it for the kids. And it takes some practice, so just get used to that shuffle. It's really not that hard, though, to control the top 4 cards. So you have the aces on top. You give the spectator the deck. They then take the deck, and they think of any number from 5 to 10. I say 5 to 30, whatever. You can make that up. Keep in mind, though, that the higher the number, the longer the trick takes. So just keep that in mind, especially with students. They might lose interest the higher the number. So you set the parameters how you want. So I say 5, so that way they don't deal 3 cards, and then the trick is done, and you have no idea what to do from there. So they deal at least 5, and it really just genuinely doesn't matter how many they deal. So I'll just take a handful and put them right there. So then once they've dealt their cards out, I give them 3 chances, and each time it escalates to a funnier situation. I start off with, you're going to be driving home tonight. For your students, it'll be, you're going to be riding home tonight. Or if you're a high schooler, they could be driving. You're going to think, what if you took some off? What if you put some on? Would that change the outcome of this trick? And essentially, it doesn't matter. They can take the whole thing if they wanted to and put it on top, or they can take off. How much they take off is important, but so I just, with my words, I say, you can take off some of the cards. You can put on as many as you'd like. Just the simple words kind of influence the way that they put on and take off. So they do whatever they want, and then I go to the second phase where it's, you're going to be brushing your teeth tonight. And you're going to think, what if I put some on? What if I took some off? Would that change the outcome of the trick? And they do whatever they want to do. They take some off, they put some on. It's their choice. And then finally escalate with the highest one. This one always gets a chuckle. It's a good, funny moment. I say, you're going to wake up in a cold sweat. And I get totally serious. And then I just kind of smile a bit. And then it's a good pause. And they get to choose again. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to do anything just to save time. And then they say, okay, go ahead and take your pile. And they count out 4 piles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here, it's important that they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't go back over the cards that they've already dealt because they'd cover up some of the cards. So, and then what just happened was the cards that were on the bottom are now on the top. All right, so the aces get dealt down first. The kids put down cards on top of the aces, and then you have the aces on the bottom of the deck. So when they deal it out 4 at a time, just like that. Oh no. The aces end up right there. And that's the 4-ace trick.
Wow, that guy's good. I mean, I didn't know if we were going to get to the card trick, but what an ending. So, yeah. Hey, another thing to let you know is that we're giving away a prize again like we always do tonight. So, what that means for you is to make sure that you put in your name in these comments. Okay? Get your name in there, and we're going to put them in our little doohickey machine, and our doohickey machine is going to release a winner for the end of the night. What is it? You say, well, we have another Higher Ground coffee gift card for you. We're going to get that to you tonight. tonight. And as you saw last week, we are delivering these, okay? And so that will be delivered tonight to your doorstep if the Doohickey machine decides you are the winner. Okay? It'll be a $10 High Ground gift card. That way, if you want to splurge and get a large, you're happy to do that on our cost. Okay? So, hey, let's tune our hearts to God. Grayson is going to share with us a message of song. Again, it's Who You Say I Am is what he will be singing. It's by the band Hillsong. And I hope you enjoy. Grayson, man, take it away, my friend.
Who am I that the highest king would welcome me? I was lost, but he brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun sets free. Oh, it's free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Free at last, he hath ransomed me. His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, he died for me. Who the sun sets free. Oh, it's free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the sun sets free. Oh, it's free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
Hello, M1 students. My name is Marco, and I live in beautiful San Diego, California, where I'm sitting in my backyard right now because it's going to be 75 today and sunny, which it is here all the time. You might hear some birds chirping in the background as I'm talking to you. I hope you're doing okay. Did you guys know, I'm guessing you knew, but the M1 is a major freeway in England that starts in the center of London and goes straight north up through kind of the northern suburbs, and it keeps going north up through Leicester and Leeds and all the way up to Edinburgh, Scotland. So how fun that you have that fun little British connection. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I've learned about hope this morning. Is it morning? You're listening to this in the morning? This evening? It's morning here. So, yeah, whatever. This moment. That's what I'm supposed to say. This learning, this aha about hope, it took place a long time ago now in your life. Not all that long in my old life. It was 10 years ago. You might know that about 10 years ago, the country of Haiti, which is half of an island down in the Caribbean, the other half is the Dominican Republic. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and they've struggled with deep, deep poverty and all kinds of problems for a long time. They experienced 10 years ago a massive earthquake that hit fairly close to the capital, Port-au-Prince. And I mean, it was just a huge, horrible thing with, tens of thousands of people dying and destroying everything. And yeah, it was really, really, really bad. And the world kind of mobilized in some ways. I ended up going 3 weeks after the earthquake to do some, let's call it investigative work. We were trying to figure out if it was going to be safe for youth groups to go there on mission trips. And I expected to run into quite a bit of pain and suffering. And I did. Some really, really hard stories of people that I talked to. But I also got pretty caught off guard by hope. And it was in a very particular weird moment. So here's what happened. We were driving into the city of Port-au-Prince. We'd already made several stops in our little micro van. There was about 8 of us together. And we got into the city and there was a massive traffic jam. And you could tell that the street that we were supposed to cross was closed off and it had tons of people in it. And we all assumed, I think, that they were protesting because the Haitian government was not handling things well either, and protesting was an extremely normal form of using your voice. And I was sick of being in the van, so I wanted to see what was going on. And so I jumped out of the van. I remember our trip leader was all freaked out whether or not it was safe, but we were just cooped up in the van, just like you guys have been cooped up in your houses. You understand this. So I jumped out of the van and ran up to the edge of the street. And I saw, probably 1,000 people were in this street, and they were jumping around. My impression was they're very angry, and they were actively jumping around in this protest and maybe chanting something. And I was trying to understand exactly what was going on, but I came into it with a preset idea of what was taking place. And I wanted to feel it a little bit more, right? I wanted to sense more deeply than my brain what this was. And so I pushed my way into the middle of the crowd. It was probably a little bit of a risky move, but it didn't look dangerous to me. And I got in the middle of the crowd, and it's kind of funny that I didn't notice all this stuff until that moment, but I got in the middle of the crowd, and in that moment, I had a handful of realizations hit me really fast. Like, all of these took place within a few seconds. The first one was that I noticed it was music and that people were singing. They weren't chanting in protest, they were actually singing. Realize they speak a different language in Haiti, right? It's called Haitian Creole. I still should have known that ahead of time. I don't know why I didn't notice till that moment, but I noticed they're singing, and I noticed that the music sounded suspiciously like worship music, like you would hear in church. And I glanced down the street, and there was a flatbed truck with a band on it that looked suspiciously like a worship band. And at that very moment, these 2 old Haitian women grabbed my hands. One grabbed one hand, one grabbed the other hand. I swear these old ladies had 4 teeth between the two of them. They were pretty worn and very old. They were wearing kind of a traditional white gown, each of them, kind of almost like a choir robe. And they grabbed my hand and they were yelling at me in Creole, which I didn't understand, but it was really obvious from their body language that what they were saying was, "You better start dancing with us, fat white boy." And I started hopping. I don't know that I could actually call it dancing because I was so confused about what was going on. And not that I would be a good dancer anyhow, but I was barely concentrating on dancing. It was more just, I need to go along with this, right? So one of these women's holding my left hand, one's holding my right hand, and they're hopping around and I'm hopping around with them and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And then in that moment I remembered a verse. I don't know if you guys have ever memorized much scripture. And when I was a kid, I was in this like Bible memory program where me and my sisters would memorize Bible verses, and then like if we could repeat them back, we got cheap little plastic toys and things. And so I have a bunch of Bible verses that are somewhere in my brain, right? And I'm so thankful for it, because it's not like I can quote the whole Bible, but once in a while a verse comes to me that I memorized as a kid, and that's what happened in that street in Haiti. I had this verse pop into my memory that I hadn't thought of in a long time, and it's a verse from Romans, and it says, it's Paul writing, the Apostle Paul, and he says, "We rejoice in our sufferings because suffering leads to perseverance, and perseverance leads to character, and character leads to hope. And hope does not disappoint us." And as I had that verse, it almost felt like it was scrolling across the back inside of my skull. That's how best I can explain it. I'm still hopping around with these two old Haitian women, right? And that verse came to me, and I realized these people that I'm here with on this street, in this what obviously was a worship time, they have all experienced more suffering than I probably ever will in my life. And they are hopeful. Listen, this is the key. They're hopeful not in spite of their suffering. They are hopeful because of their suffering. And what I've come to see, friends, is that optimism, which is kind of the idea of just put out a happy face and push through, yay! Optimism and hope are not the same thing. And optimism is great. I'm not opposed to optimism, but hope is something much deeper than that. And it often starts, when you look at scripture, it often starts in a place of deep struggle and disappointment, because hope has, you could say hope has embedded in it a sense of longing, of wanting something more, something better. In fact, there's another scripture verse that says, "Who hopes for what they already have?" Hope expects that there's something still better to come. In our Christian story, this is embedded in it. Yes, Jesus came and lived and showed us how to live, and then went to the cross and provided salvation and rose from the dead to be victorious over sin, but we still hope and long for a full completion of everything, of being perfected. We still are aching and waiting for what could become, that we believe by faith. And that's what I realized that these people in Haiti had, and that I had been just living by this idea of needing to be optimistic, which is a nice American idea, but instead what was really needed was a deep sense of hope in the place of longing and hurt. Now listen, as I wrap up, so many teenagers that I know right now, and I'm right there in this with you, by the way. So many teenagers right now are struggling with a sense of stuckness, being alone, feeling isolated, maybe even depressed. And I want to say to you, that is the perfect place to see hope get birthed and to experience a freshness and a vitality. And that hope comes when we invite the presence of Jesus. When you're honest about your dissatisfaction with the way things are, and then you hold that open, or you hold that up to God prayerfully on open hands, not trying to control it, and then you wait for the presence of Jesus. And when Jesus shows up, hope comes with Jesus. It's like a combo platter, right? You really wanted the burger, but you get the fries, right? And in the same sense, when you get Jesus, you get hope. It's a combo platter. When Jesus shows up, hope comes along for the ride. So hope comes with the presence of Jesus as a gift. That's my encouragement to you guys this morning or tonight or whenever you're listening to this, in this moment. That's what I'm supposed to say. And I hope that in this time of struggle and longing and lament and isolation, that you will be able to experience some of the hope that comes with the presence of Jesus Christ. Not a cheap sense of optimism, but a deeper sense of honesty and longing, and a belief that God is in control and has beautiful dreams for your life. Thanks, guys, for letting me be with you. God bless you.
Thanks, Marco, for a great message of hope. Love the idea of using the combo platter. Jesus always is the combo platter. It always comes with hope. Man, what an encouraging message. Thanks again for taking out time in your schedule to be with us, and we do appreciate that greatly. And like we say every week, it's a new message from a new speaker, and every time it's a message of hope. So, next week is a break. Okay, so next week we're going to have a celebration of mothers, and it's Mother's Day, so we're going to be asking you to be a part of that video. Now, it won't be weekend live like we're doing now, but it will be a special video for our moms. So be sure you're paying attention to our text group, and we hope that you will be prompted to share with us what we ask. So anyways, look out for that, okay? And then make sure that you're tuning in the next week, which is May 17th. May 17th is Miss Louise McCallion. Louise is a dear friend of mine from seminary. She has a bit of a thick Irish accent, but don't let that impede you from watching. She is a prayer warrior, and she is always giving relevant messages that always speak to me, and I know it'll speak to you. And she's wonderful. She's wonderful. So please, please, please tune in May 17th to hear Louise again. Marco, thank you. That message hit the mark. Okay, we're having fun now. All right. And hey, listen up. Make sure that you're listening up to Listen Up YM podcast. Coming out Wednesday morning. And remember, driveway visits are coming. Sign up for a driveway visit. We'll hang out, me and you. And, oh my gosh, we've got to give away a Higher Ground gift card. A Higher Ground gift card is coming your way. $10. Who is it going to be? Let's pop it up on the screen. Okay, let's see. Who's going to get the mocha? All right. Boom! All right. Hey, Michael Butler, you have won yourself a Higher Ground gift card, $10. Okay, go get you a large mocha and make sure that you have a coffee on us. Yes. All right. Good job, Michael. Hey, everybody tuning in. Thanks for being here every week. Always trying to be giving fun and purpose at the same time. So, let's end with our benediction, shall we? Okay. Let's take our groovy fingers. Let's interlock them. And then let's give the dove sign. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go back. All right. And then Mr. Jason Briggins, will you lead us? Yeah, I'm just kidding again. Oh my gosh. This is rich. All right. Let's interlock the fingers, stay in your cozy chairs, okay, or wherever you're at. And let's give the benediction together, shall we? So the benediction will pop on the screen right now. There it is. All right. And let's end our time together, shall we? Okay. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. Woo! Hey! Thanks for joining us this week. Remember, next week is Mother's Day. Celebrate moms. Looking out for that text from me to figure out what we got to do together to celebrate mamas. All right. Have a great week. We're going to see you out there. Sign up for a driveway visit. And we are looking forward to everything that God has in store this week. We'll see you later.